Well, now that we've defined resilience and explained where it comes from and how we experience it, we'd like to talk about how we can access our own innate natural resilience. This is Judy Sedgman, and this is the second part of our series on resilience. So resilience basically means that we're able to live at peace. Not that we always feel totally peaceful, but that we're able to live at peace. And not only live at peace, but live at peace no matter what. And that means no matter what's going on outside of us, that our circumstances are not creating the life that we lead. Our thinking is creating our experience of our circumstances. So it doesn't matter what's going on outside of us, whether it's great or chaotic or interesting or terrible or challenging or sad. Anything that's happening in the world, we experience differently depending on our own access to our resilience and our own understanding of how our thinking works. Now, fortunately, we have an internal navigation system because we're always moving up and down and around and through a variety of feeling states. Now, on this chart, there's only a few because just to give you a sense of direction, that either we're moving up into a higher state of mind, into a better mood, whatever you'd like to call it, in which we feel increasingly calm, at ease, peaceful, whatever, or we're moving down, in which we're going from a state of calm into stress and distress and anxiety and tortured feelings. Now, the good part about this range is that we always know what state we're in. We know how we feel. We might not always be honest when people ask us how we feel. We tend to say fine no matter how we feel. But if pressed, we know how we feel. We know the state we're in. And that we call that our state of mind. I'm in a terrible state of mind. I'm in a good state of mind. I'm in a happy state of mind, whatever. Now, here's what's true, though. As our state of mind changes, which is a constant experience of life, we're always moving around through various states. Depending truly on how seriously we're taking what kind of thinking, our life experience changes, our whole view of life changes. And not only does our view of life change, but even more importantly, the behaviors that seem possible to us, that make sense to us, that occur to us, change in different states of mind. So as you look at this chart and consider the range of behaviors that's possible, you can see that as we move upwards into a quieter and more peaceful state of mind, that we move from calm to feeling connected to people, feeling creative, and even when we're totally at peace, feeling a sense of unconditional love. Just really appreciating our life and everything in it. And as we move down, as our state drops, as our level of thinking and state of mind drop, we can end up in alienated from other people, in a state of distress, in destructive, and even tormented. So we move in and out of these various states of mind, and what looks like an appropriate response to what we see changes as our state of mind changes. So not only does the reality that we see change, but the way we relate to that reality changes completely. And that's true for every person on earth. So that's important to know. If someone is angry at us, it's not really anything that's has anything to do with us. It's the state of mind they're in and how seriously they're taking their angry thoughts, whether they understand what they're doing to themselves with their own thinking. It makes it much easier for people to relate to each other when you understand that we're really navigating our feeling state. We're not navigating the content of our thinking. So when we look deeper, and Sid Banks puts it very well in this quote, our feelings are the evidence of a level of well-being we're experiencing. That's really what they are. They tell us, they're information for us, they're indicators of how we're doing, our own level of well-being in any given moment. And so it's our feeling state is an absolutely reliable internal guide to whether we should trust whatever thinking we're doing in that particular moment. Absolutely reliable internal guide. If I'm feeling stressed or upset or anxious, I should know better than to trust my thinking. Because I know my thinking is going to be, the way I perceive things is going to be skewed by that state. And in a calm state of mind, the same exact situation might look entirely different to me. We've all had that experience. The experience of thinking something is one way, and then suddenly having a quiet moment and looking again and going, well, wait, I didn't interpret that right at all. I don't think that's true. And really, what was true for us is that both were true. One was true to us in a certain state of mind, and in a different state of mind, it looks entirely different. So, to recap, we're the thinkers. We know that. We know that we're creating our own experience via our thinking, moment to moment to moment. Our thoughts look different to us in different states of mind, and our thoughts are creating our reality, so every time our state of mind and our thinking shift, our reality changes. And we have the wisdom, once we understand that, not to trust our thinking in a low state of mind. Once we really see the three principles at work, and we know it's an absolute certainty that if we quiet our minds and our thinking changes, our experience will change, then we know we have the sense to let negative thinking pass. Not to take it seriously, not to do the behaviors that occur to us when we're in that state. Because we know, again, to use a metaphor, that our state of mind is really like a dashboard for our mind. You know how on the dashboard of your car, when the little warning lights come on, that doesn't tell you to go faster or speed up or do something, with the key. It tells you slow down or stop. Reflect. Think again. See whether you want to go forward. Ask yourself, do I need to call a tow or do I need to make it limp along to the next gas station? But it's a signal. It's an absolute warning to slow down, and that's what an increasingly stressed, intense state of mind is. It's an absolute warning to slow down. Reflect. Allow our thinking to pass. Again, when we do that, when we turn away from negative thoughts and negative feelings, out of quietude, we find clarity and wisdom. The quality of our thinking is different in a higher state of mind. We get fresh thoughts, we get clearer thoughts, we get wisdom beyond our knowledge. We get the kind of thinking that is a good guide through our life. And since all people are the same, the principles are universal. What they describe is the common human experience. Just like the heartbeat and circulation describe a common quality of all living beings, human beings. The way our minds work is true for all people. And once we really understand that, we're really able to understand other people better. We're able to understand that when they're upset, they're not going to make a lot of sense. And we can't take their thinking any more seriously than we would be taking our own if we were in that state of mind. But we also know they're only one thought away from a whole different experience. We know better than to engage and enter into the thinking that they're doing. We know that what they need is new thought, a fresh start, quieting down so they can think again. So always look for the silence, always look for your own quietude, and look to create quietude around you when people are upset. Don't feed it, is another way to put that. There's no reason to feed upset because it never accomplishes anything.